wishing groom till it undoes me. The helium sound like a hum. Related to myself or a situation I can be, that I can relate, remember or relate to.
In the mid-'80s, Til Tuesday was on the fast track to superstardom with a string of hit singles and a loyal fan base. But unexpectedly, the band vanished from the limelight almost overnight, leaving fans wondering what happened to the beloved pop quartet. Join us as we explore the creative tensions and personal struggles that led to their unexpected end. Amy Mann, a prominent member of the band Til Tuesday, began her music career with the Young Snakes, a group known for their punk rock label, but Mann described their sound as more art rock. The band members had formal music training and utilized written music charts, giving their music a more sophisticated and intellectual feel rather than a raw and rebellious one. However, Mann soon discovered that the band's musical direction did not align with her personal desires. Her bandmates did not appreciate the melodic style she was gravitating towards, prompting her to search for a new path. In a surprising twist of events, Mann became a member of Al Jourgensen's band, Ministry, in 1981. During that period, Ministry was not yet fully embracing industrial music and instead focused on synthpop, which was heavily influenced by their record label's desire for a more commercial sound. However, by 1983, Jourgensen grew frustrated with this direction and decided to part ways with his label. Although Mann's stint with the Ministry was short-lived, it made a lasting impact on her. She later acknowledged Jourgensen for teaching her how to efficiently structure chord changes, melodies, and rhythms. Their connection went beyond just a professional one. Jourgensen believed that Mann's later hit, Voices Carry, was influenced by their time together. In December 1982, Mann's musical path veered in a different direction after she crossed paths with Robert Holmes, a guitarist from London, at a gathering in Boston. Holmes, a devoted fan of power pop music, had recently moved to the US with his family due to his father's job at the Christian Science Monitor. Upon becoming acquainted with Holmes, Mann also became acquainted with his father, who spoke highly of his son's talent and personality. This encounter led to a collaboration in music, prompting them to create a band together. During that period, Michael Hausman, a drummer who had attended Berklee College of Music, was residing with Mann. He had been a member of a band called The Dark, but Mann and Holmes persuaded him to depart from it and become part of their upcoming venture. Following this, they enlisted the help of keyboardist Joey Pesci, also a former Berklee student. Once the lineup was finalized, they decided to call themselves Til Tuesday. Mann clarified later on that the name was not chosen with any profound intention in mind. She simply found the idea of having a band name with a day of the week appealing. During the beginning stages, the group balanced work obligations with their pursuit of music. Mann kept his job at Newberry Comics. Hausman worked at a retail store, Pesci was employed at a bank, and Holmes worked as a painter. Despite their packed schedules, they remained committed to achieving their aspirations. Mann and Holmes devised a detailed strategy, labeling it their blueprint, mapping out the necessary actions to thrive in the business. Following extended sessions of composing songs, they would assess the blueprint over some drinks, ensuring they were following the correct path. Their primary objective was to deliver their demo to Rick Ocasek, a renowned member of the Cars and a respected producer. Their efforts paid off. Ocasek listened to their tape and found it appealing. Ian Taylor, an engineer who had experience working at the Cars' Synchro Sound Studio and had previously worked with Ministry, played a crucial role in their strategy. They believed that his connections in the music industry would enable them to produce a high-quality demo. Aside from their musical talent, they put a lot of effort into shaping their appearance. They chose to wear mostly dark, subdued colors, like black and gray, in order to convey a unique and fashionable aesthetic. Mann drew inspiration from her life experiences, especially her romantic relationships, when writing songs. By combining post-punk guitar riffs with synthesizers, they were able to produce a sound that was not only infectious, but also deeply emotional. Mann once explained that she focused on creating catchy melodies rather than intricate ones when writing songs. This blend of simplicity and sophistication would later define the sound of Til Tuesday, paving the way for their success. Now let's explore the rise of Til Tuesday and how they were able to cope with the pressures of fame. Til Tuesday made their debut on stage in March 1983 at the Channel, a well-known spot in Boston. Merely 5 weeks after their first live performance, they collaborated with engineer Ian Taylor to produce a 5-song demo. Following a casual chat between Amy Mann and a radio DJ, their track Love in a Vacuum received substantial airtime on WBCN-FM, a local station. This newfound exposure allowed the band to garner a larger following, but it was their involvement in the WBCN Rock and Roll Rumble that truly catapulted them into the spotlight. The well-known Battle of the Bands, which was a competition, had 24 groups vying for the top prize. The prize included $2,000, a complimentary video shoot, studio time, new equipment, and an interview on MTV. Til Tuesday came out as the winners, gaining increased recognition in the music industry. Shortly after their triumph, they were approached by Epic Records, a Sony-owned company. It took approximately half a year of negotiations before they finally reached an agreement. After securing a record contract, the band members decided to quit their day jobs and dedicate themselves fully to their music. Mann made the bold decision to leave her job at Newbury Comics on her 23rd birthday, symbolizing a new start in her professional journey. Following this, Til Tuesday headed to RPM Sound Studios in New York to start working on their first album, Voices Carry, under the guidance of producer Mike Thorne. Thorne, known for his work with Soft Cell on the hit song Tainted Love, was chosen for his expertise in synth-driven music, which aligned well with the band's musical direction. One of the tracks created for the record was the main song, Voices Carry. It is said that popular singer Cyndi Lauper, under contract with Epic Records like the band, came across a preliminary version of the song and expressed interest in using it for her album. Nevertheless, Thorne successfully persuaded Til Tuesday to retain the tune for their project. The title Voices Carry was inspired by a casual comment made by the band's keyboardist, Joey Pesci. Mann later remembered overhearing him say the phrase and immediately realizing its potential as a captivating song title. Over time, there has been much debate about the interpretation of the song Voices Carry. Some people thought it was inspired by Amy Mann's romantic involvement with drummer Michael Houseman, while others believed it was influenced by her experiences with Al Jourgensen of Ministry. Nonetheless, producer Mike Thorne revealed that the initial lyrics were centered around a same-gender relationship. Due to the conservative atmosphere of the music business in the 1980s, Epic Records demanded that the lyrics be altered to depict a male and female relationship. Mann revealed that her song was based on a conversation with a male acquaintance who shared his difficulties in his romantic relationship. He complained that his partner was always uncomfortable with PDA, insisting on secrecy. Empathizing with his situation, Mann translated it into the lyrics of her song. However, she took creative liberties by portraying the man in the song as controlling and eager to conceal the relationship. Mann not only took inspiration from her friend's narrative, but also incorporated elements from her history. During an interview, she disclosed that Voices Carry was influenced by a first-hand encounter with a man who was involved with another woman clandestinely. The man's indecision about ending the relationship with his girlfriend left Mann feeling exasperated and compelled to remain silent. The haunting chorus of the song transformed into a bold declaration on hiding one's emotions. Several people drew connections between the song's messages and Mann's upbringing. Now, before we dive into the success of one of their most recognized songs, let's take a look at the person behind its existence. Amy Mann was born in 1960 in Richmond, Virginia. Music captivated her from a tender age. At 12, she independently learned to play the guitar, even though she initially wanted to play the bass. She persisted in following her passion for music, using it as a means of both escapism and self-representation. During her early years, she experienced a series of distressing events. Her mother engaged in a romantic relationship with a coworker of her father, who happened to be married with his family. At the age of 3, her mother absconded to Europe with the man, taking Amy and his children along. In a desperate attempt to retrieve her, her father enlisted the services of a private investigator. A year later, by chance, the investigator located Amy living on the fringes of London. The breakthrough came unexpectedly when one of her father's acquaintances, who worked in the advertising industry, happened to dine with Amy's captor. The mere mention of the man's name sparked suspicion, eventually leading to her liberation. Amy returned to the United States and resided in Richmond with her father, who had married a woman with 2 sons. Adapting to her new environment was tough due to the lasting impact of her trauma, resulting in her being mostly silent for extended periods. Seeking healing, her father sought the help of a psychiatrist, leading to a significant change. Despite this progress, she faced challenges with her father's family, who frequently disregarded her passions. They belittled her love for sports and music, viewing them as hindrances to her main goal of marriage. Music became a sanctuary for her. She drew motivation from musicians such as Neil Young, Peter, Paul and Mary, David Bowie, Iggy Pop, and particularly Patti Smith. Amy connected strongly with Patti's bold uniqueness, highlighting that she did not have to adhere to societal norms. The emergence of punk and new wave genres also presented fresh opportunities for her, demonstrating that formal musical training was not necessary to produce impactful art. She started playing at small cafes in Virginia, but she soon felt constrained by the local music scene. This realization led her to seek opportunities elsewhere in order to fully chase her dreams. Upon finishing high school in 1978, she decided to attend Berklee College of Music in Boston. The reason she chose Berklee was because of its emphasis on modern music rather than traditional classical training. While she did not finish her studies at Berklee, the time spent there was extremely beneficial to her growth as a musician. While in Boston, she was employed at Newbury Comics, a music store where she immersed herself in the world of melodies. Voices Carry marked the beginning of Amy Mann's solo songwriting journey. Upon finishing their first album, Til Tuesday faced a dilemma in selecting the lead single, debating between Looking Over My Shoulder and Love in a Vacuum for their strong qualities. Love in a Vacuum had already gained attention on WBCN and contributed to their victory in the Battle of the Bands, solidifying its position as the favored choice. Despite initial doubts about its mainstream appeal, Voices Carry was eventually considered a potential breakthrough hit by the band. In the end, Dick Wingate, who was in charge of A&R at Epic Records, was the one who made the final call. He decided that Voices Carry would be the best choice for the band's lead single, a decision that would have a significant impact. The song reached number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 and stayed on the chart for an impressive 31 weeks. It also did well internationally, making it into the top 20 in both Canada and Australia. The music video played a significant role in the success of the song. It portrayed Mann in a troubled relationship with a controlling and verbally abusive boyfriend, reinforcing the themes of the song. One of the most memorable scenes in the video showed Mann and her partner at a fancy event at Carnegie Hall, where she defied him by standing up and singing despite his efforts to silence her. This scene struck a chord with women who could relate to her struggles, transforming Voices Carry into a symbol of resistance and self-assertion. Mann eventually admitted that she did not approve of the director's selection for her character's boyfriend in the video, stating that she would never have been interested in someone like him outside of filming. However, despite her objections, the music video gained widespread recognition and was often featured on lists of the greatest music videos ever made. It even received a prestigious MTV Video Music Award for Best New Artist. The Carnegie Hall scene in the video was inspired by a famous scene from Alfred Hitchcock's movie, The Man Who Knew Too Much. The director of the video was intrigued by the idea of an assassination taking place during a symphony performance and decided to incorporate a similar dramatic moment in Voices Carry. Although the video was supposed to be set in New York City, most of it was filmed in Boston. The Strand Theater in Dorchester was used as the setting for the Carnegie Hall scenes, and extras were recruited through a casting call by the local radio station WBCN to attend in formal clothing. Even though the song was a hit, Mann did not expect it to become so popular. She thought it was too unique and moody to appeal to a wide audience. She attributed the band's rise to fame to MTV, as radio stations were slow to play their music initially. Although the video received widespread acclaim, Mann did not enjoy the process of creating music videos. She found the experience to be frustrating and creatively limiting. The directors held all the power, leaving little space for artists to showcase their artistic vision. The pressure to adhere to the director's vision made Mann feel uneasy and insincere. Til Tuesday's first album, which shares the same name as their hit song, Voices Carry, was well received, making it to the 19th spot on the Billboard 200 and gaining a gold certification. The album also featured 2 more singles, Looking Over My Shoulder and Love in a Vacuum. However, neither of these songs was able to match the popularity of Voices Carry, with Looking Over My Shoulder only reaching number 61 on the Hot 100 and Love in a Vacuum appearing on the Cashbox Top 100 Pop Singles chart. Voices Carry stood out as one of the rare first albums to receive a gold certification in 1985. Til Tuesday hit the road to promote the album, sharing the stage with big names such as Tom Petty, Hall and Oates, and Rick Springfield. The unexpected fame took a toll on Mann. Looking back, she confessed that achieving success was like being swept away by a powerful force. She likened it to entering a situation that constantly drew her in further, making it hard to break free. As Mann's band became busier, she started to feel overwhelmed. The pressures of performing, media appearances, and marketing efforts started to affect her health. She confessed that there was a time when she was so worn out that she thought about harming herself, just to take a break from the non-stop routine. The constant spotlight also made her uneasy. In her upbringing, attention was always tied to negative feedback, so being in the public eye seemed like a hardship rather than a success. Even though they were successful, Til Tuesday encountered doubt from certain critics and professionals within the music industry. Mann's unique look and the band's sudden popularity sparked rumors that they were artificially promoted by the industry. WBCN, the radio station credited with propelling their career, was also accused of manipulating the Battle of the Bands contest in their favor. Station employee Danny McCloskey remembered how many believed the competition had been rigged and that Mann had unfairly benefited from it. In 1986, Til Tuesday unveiled their sophomore album, Welcome Home. Collaborating with producer Rhett Davies, recognized for his contributions to Dire Straits and Roxy Music, the band recorded the album in Woodstock, New York. Marking a change in direction, the album featured more acoustic elements, deviating from the synth-driven sound of their previous release. This transformation hinted at Mann's future musical path, as she would later shift from the pop style of Til Tuesday to a more contemplative singer-songwriter approach. Voices Carry marked a turning point for Til Tuesday, showcasing Mann's growth as an artist. The lyrics' theme of liberation and self-expression struck a chord with listeners, solidifying its place as a standout track from the 1980s. However, it did not take long before their career started to decline. What was the cause? Let's find out. Even though Voices Carry was a hit, Til Tuesday's next album, Welcome Home, did not perform as well commercially. The album's first single, What About Love, achieved moderate success by reaching number 26 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 9 on the Mainstream Rock Tracks chart. The second single, Coming Up Close, did not fare as well, only reaching number 59 on the Hot 100 and number 26 on the rock chart. Additionally, Welcome Home barely made it into the top 50 albums, peaking at number 49. After the debut of Welcome Home, there was a significant change within the band as keyboardist Joe Pesci departed. During the creation of their third album, Everything's Different Now, in 1988, Amy Mann's personal life was also going through transformations. Previously involved with songwriter Jules Shearer since the Voices Carry era, their relationship had come to an end by then. This split had a profound impact on the themes and lyrics of the album. Mann looked back and realized that the breakup took a heavy, emotional toll on her, causing a delay in finishing the album due to difficulties in writing. Once she found a way to channel her emotions into her music, it resulted in one of her most intimate albums. The song Believed You Were Lucky, which was the first single, was inspired by Cher, while J for Jules highlighted their connection even more. Cher even helped write the title track, Everything's Different Now, for the album. Mann also worked with Elvis Costello on the other end, contributing to the diverse sound of the album. Throughout this period, the band experienced increased turmoil following the departure of guitarist Robert Holmes. With these exits, as well as shifts at their music label, Til Tuesday found it challenging to sustain their progress. Everything's Different now faced obstacles in terms of sales, only reaching a peak position of 124 on the charts. Despite the single Believed You Were Lucky reaching number 95 on the Hot 100 and number 30 on the alternative airplay chart, it failed to rejuvenate the band's waning fame. Epic Records went through changes that resulted in less support for the band, leading to a decline in their popularity. Til Tuesday faced challenges with conflicting visions and struggling to make a profit, signaling the end of their time together as a band. After the group disbanded, Mann decided to pursue a successful solo career on her terms. So, what's next for Aimee Mann? Did her career come to an end too? In the late 1980s, Aimee Mann started a solo career following the disbandment of Til Tuesday, moving towards a more introspective acoustic style instead of the pop sound she was known for. Despite this, her solo career faced obstacles as Epic Records, her label, refused to let her go from her contract for 3 years, hindering her ability to release new music under her name. In a time of struggle, Mann received surprising assistance from her previous band member and ex-partner Michael Houseman, who took on the position of her manager. Despite facing obstacles, she was resolute in paving a new way forward. After reclaiming her artistic independence, she joined forces with producer John Bryan, a musician who had previously performed with Til Tuesday during their tours. In 1993, Mann put out her first solo album, Whatever. Critics lauded the album for its introspective lyrics and well-crafted songs. Despite the positive feedback, the album did not sell well commercially. While the song I Should Have Known did see some success, overall sales were disappointing. Unfazed by the lack of success, Mann released her second album, titled I'm With Stupid, in 1995. Despite receiving positive reviews from critics, the album did not perform well commercially, disappointing her record label. During this period, Mann's record company went through a series of transformations, including being purchased by Geffen Records. These changes further complicated Mann's career, as the turbulent music industry often marginalized artists such as herself. Dick Wingate, the executive who first brought Til Tuesday to Epic Records, stated that Mann exemplified an artist who had been consumed and then discarded by the music business. This led Mann to become more skeptical of record labels and motivated her to explore alternative methods for sharing her music without corporate intervention. When things appeared grim, Hollywood finally paid attention to her talent. Mann's music was featured on the soundtrack of Jerry Maguire, allowing her to reach a wider audience. However, it was her work on the film Magnolia in 1999 that truly revitalized her career. Several of her songs were included in the movie, with Save Me standing out as one of her most popular tracks. The Magnolia soundtrack was recognized with a gold certification, and Save Me earned Mann a nomination for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance at the Grammy Awards, as well as a nomination for Best Original Song at the Academy Awards. She even performed the song at the 72nd Academy Awards, marking a significant milestone in her musical journey. During the early 2000 years, Mann was able to break away from the limitations of the conventional music business by establishing her record company, enabling her to put out music according to her preferences. This sense of freedom allowed her to explore her creative side more freely. Joe Pesci from Til Tuesday continued to be involved in different bands and also explored a passion for sculpting. Robert Holmes, the guitarist for the band, stayed active in the music scene even after the group broke up. Cully Holland, the actor who portrayed Mann's domineering boyfriend in the Voices Carry music video, passed away in 1991. His death In 1991, although the exact reason was never disclosed, is believed to have been due to AIDS according to some reports. Despite the hardships encountered in the music business, Mann managed to achieve success on her terms, showcasing how talent and perseverance can overcome institutional barriers. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.